Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Metaphysics Podcast. I'm Dennis Goddard.
And I'm Louise Hicks.
We love diving deep into the mysteries of the mind. And today we're exploring something really intriguing,
The law of assumption.
and specifically how it's taught by Neville Goddard.
Exactly. It's been generating a lot of buzz.
Oh, it sounds fascinating. So what's the big idea?
It's about this hidden secret that goes beyond, the usual manifestation stuff.
Okay, you've got my attention. What's the secret?
It's all about the power of a controlled imagination
Mm.
and really being able to hold your attention on something.
So instead of just wishing for things,
It's more than that.
you're saying we need to cultivate this ability to really focus our minds
Yes. Intently and consistently.
on the reality we want to experience.
You got it.
So it's not just daydreaming, it's more about actively shaping our reality
Exactly.
through focused thought.
Yeah, think of it like
Okay.
trying to hit a target with a bow and arrow.
Mm.
If your aim is all over the place and your attention is flitting around,
Right.
you're not going to hit the bullseye.
Makes sense.
But if you can steady your hand, focus your gaze, and hold your attention on that target,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to hit the mark.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It really makes it clear how our thoughts and intentions play a role.
Right.
But how do we actually train our minds to have that kind of laser focus,
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
especially in a world that's full of distractions?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like everywhere you turn, there's something trying to grab your attention.
Exactly. And Goddard really emphasizes the importance of minimizing instant gratification.
You mean those quick hits of dopamine we get from things like,
But yeah, social media, streaming services, video games,
oh, I'm definitely guilty of that. It's so easy to get sucked into the endless scroll.
I know, right?
But I can see how constantly bombarding ourselves with those kinds of distractions.
It makes it harder to cultivate deep focus.
Yeah, it's like,
It's like trying to meditate in the middle of a rock concert.
exactly. You just can't do it.
It takes real effort to reclaim your attention and redirect it toward.
Yeah, what you actually want to create in your life.
Exactly.
So cutting back on those distractions is one piece of the puzzle.
It is.
But what else can we do to develop this high-level attention that Goddard talks about?
Well, have you ever noticed how certain activities just
Yeah,
really seem to sharpen your mental focus?
I have.
Things like exercise or dancing or playing a musical instrument.
I do find I'm much more focused after a good workout or a long hike.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's like clearing out the cobwebs in your mind.
it is.
And there's a definite connection there between mind and body.
Right.
So when you engage in activities that require both physical and mental coordination,
Yeah.
it strengthens your ability to concentrate.
So it's like working out your attention muscle
Exactly.
instead of just sitting in a quiet room trying to force ourselves to focus. It's more about doing things that naturally cultivate that attention and presence.
It's like cross-training for your mind.
I like that.
The more you engage in activities that require sustained attention,
Yeah.
the easier it becomes to focus on the things you want.
Okay, this is all making a lot of sense.
Good.
But there's one thing I'm still a bit curious about.
What's that?
We've been talking about controlled imagination,
Yeah.
but how does that differ from the typical visualization techniques people use
That's a great question.
for manifestation?
Yeah, because it's not just about creating pretty pictures in your mind.
Right?
It's about truly immersing yourself in the feeling of your desired reality.
So it's more than just seeing it. It's about feeling it, believing it.
Yes.
Like really stepping into that reality.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
And you're not passively observing it.
Right.
You're actively stepping into it and experiencing it.
As if it's already happened.
As if it's happening right now.
Got it.
So, for example, let's say your goal is to get a promotion at work.
Okay.
Instead of just vaguely picturing yourself in a new office,
Right.
you would imagine walking into that office feeling the excitement,
Yeah.
hearing your colleagues congratulating you,
Okay.
maybe even feeling the weight of your new business cards in your hand.
I see what you mean, engaging all the senses to make it feel as real as possible.
Yes, and the more vividly you can imagine it,
Uh-huh.
the more you impress that reality onto your subconscious mind.
Interesting. So those feelings of excitement and belief that we're cultivating,
Yes.
those aren't just random emotions we're forcing ourselves to feel.
They come naturally.
They arise because we're experiencing them as real in our imagination,
Exactly.
just as we would if the promotion were already happening.
Yes, just like a real-life experience.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It's almost like we're tapping into the emotional reality of our desires
Yeah,
before they even manifest in the physical world.
that's a great way to put it.
And the more we practice this focused imagination,
The more we align our inner world with our desired outer world.
this is all so fascinating. I could really see why Goddard's teachings have resonated with so many people.
It's true.
It's like he's giving us this toolkit to become conscious creators of our own reality.
Absolutely. And the best part is,
Yeah.
it's a skill that anyone can develop with practice.
And dedication.
Exactly. So before we were talking about really immersing yourself.
Yeah, getting into the feeling of that desired reality.
It really is like a mental rehearsal for the life we want.
Yeah, it is. And the more you engage in that, the more you start to embody those feelings and beliefs.
That align with the outcome you want. Exactly.
You're not just thinking it.
Right.
You're becoming it.
Yes. In your mind first.
Okay, so that makes sense. But where do affirmations and visualizations fit into all of this?
Okay.
I mean, those are pretty popular manifestation techniques.
All right.
So how does that tie into this controlled imagination?
They still definitely have a place, but it's all about how you use them. It's not about just mindlessly repeating affirmations or creating vague visualizations.
So it's not about quantity.
It's about quality.
Okay.
It's about imbuing them with that focused attention
Uh-huh.
and feeling.
So for example, with affirmations,
Yeah.
instead of saying, I will be financially abundant,
You would say, I am financially abundant.
so it's about embodying the state of being you desire,
Yes, you got it.
not just hoping for it in the future.
Exactly.
And what about visualizations?
Make them vivid. Make them sensory rich.
Okay.
Imagine yourself in the first person.
Oh.
Like you're looking through your own eyes in that reality.
I think I've been doing it wrong then, because I've caught myself visualizing from a third-person perspective.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching a movie of my life
Yeah, that's a common mistake.
instead of actually living it.
But when you shift to that first person,
Yeah.
it becomes so much more powerful.
You're really stepping into that reality,
You are.
not just observing it.
Exactly.
I bet some people listening are thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but what about those nagging doubts
Right.
and the skepticism? How do you overcome that?
It's completely natural to have doubts,
Sure.
especially when we're exploring concepts like this that really challenge our thinking.
They do.
But I think the key is to approach it with a sense of curiosity
Okay.
and be willing to experiment.
Instead of just dismissing it,
Yeah,
give it a try and see what happens.
exactly. And remember the law of assumption.
Yeah.
It's not just some far-fetched theory. It's
Yeah.
been experienced and validated by countless people.
That's a good point. It's not about blindly believing.
Right.
It's about exploring and seeing what resonates with you.
Exactly.
Have you seen this principle at work in your own life?
Absolutely. There have been times when I've consciously applied this and
Mhm.
seen amazing results. One example that comes to mind is when I was looking for a new apartment.
Okay.
I had this very specific vision,
What was it?
a bright and airy space with a balcony and a view of the city.
Sounds lovely.
But I was having trouble finding something that met all my criteria.
Yeah.
So I started visualizing myself living in that perfect apartment,
Okay.
feeling the sunlight streaming through the windows, hearing the sounds of the city below.
Wow. You really went all in on the sensory details.
I did. And you know what? A
Yeah.
few weeks later,
Yeah.
I stumbled upon a listing
Uh-huh.
that was almost identical to what I had been visualizing.
Wow. It's like the universe conspired
Right now.
to bring your vision to life.
It really was.
That's incredible. So the more we align our inner world
Yes.
with that desired outer world,
The more likely we are to manifest those desires.
and it's not just about the physical manifestation, is it?
No.
It's about that shift in our energy, our beliefs.
Yes, our perception of reality.
We become magnets
Yes,
for the experiences that are in alignment with our thoughts.
exactly.
But let's be realistic. Things don't always manifest overnight.
Right?
So how do we deal with that impatience?
That's where trust comes in.
Trust.
And patience. Okay.
Remember, the universe works on its own timeline.
Sometimes what we desire requires some inner growth first
It might.
before it can manifest.
Exactly.
So it's about surrendering to the journey
Yes.
and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should.
Even if it doesn't look the way we imagined.
Exactly. And it's important to remember that manifestation is a process.
It is.
It's not about setting an intention and then just waiting.
Right.
You're actively engaging with the universe, refining your thoughts and feelings.
And adjusting your course as needed.
It's a co-creation,
Yeah.
not just placing an order.
Exactly.
This has been so enlightening.
Good and glad.
What would you say is the most important takeaway for our listeners?
You have the power to shape your reality,
Okay.
but it all starts with mastering your attention.
We have to train our minds.
Yes, to focus on that desired reality with unwavering clarity and intention.
It's about becoming the architect of your life.
Yes.
not just a passive passenger.
You got it. Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in that, the how and the when of
Right.
manifestation. But it sounds like the real key is focusing on the what,
Absolutely.
the reality you want to create.
It's about letting go of that need to control every little detail,
Right.
trusting that the universe will handle it.
Yeah. And it's not about being passive, is it?
Not at all. It's about actively participating.
But releasing that need to micromanage everything.
Exactly.
This whole conversation has been so inspiring.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I'm already feeling like my own thinking about manifestation is shifting.
That's great.
It feels less like just wishful thinking
Mm-hmm.
and more like a powerful tool we can use.
Yes, you have that power.
If you could leave our listeners with one final piece of advice.
I would say
Yeah.
start small.
Okay.
Choose one area of your life you want to change and start applying this principle of focused attention.
It could be your health, your relationships, your career.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
And as you start to see those results,
Yeah, it builds confidence.
it does.
So to all our listeners out there, we challenge you to take what you've learned and put it into practice.
And don't just listen.
Experiment.
Explore the power of your mind.
See what you can create.
We're all in this together.
Share your experiences.
Connect with other people.
We'd love to hear about your own experiences.
Leave us a comment.
Send us a message.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive,
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
share it with your friends.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep expanding.
And keep creating the reality you desire.
We'll see you on our next deep dive.